Hey, we've just gotten done with WWE's pay-per-view Payback, as well as the following up Monday Night Raw. Hello, everybody. I'm Seth Cole, and welcome to NNSCRA Talks Wrestling. A little bit different of a look with the fact that I'm not live streaming at this time, and I'm actually not recording through local recording on Xvidea, or XSplit rather, because of quality purposes. I think we're going to try this way. Hopefully this is going to work out with Bandicam. Make it a smaller file, get it uploaded quicker for you guys, because when I record it with the local recording for XSplit and put it into my editing software, it just is a huge video file and takes forever to upload, so hopefully you guys are able to see it a lot sooner. So, another thing that I'm going to be doing with this channel, with this particular NNSCRA Talks Wrestling, is we're not really going to go and review over a lot of the stuff. We're not going to go match by match and, break it down and everything, because there's a lot of channels that do that already, and I don't want this channel to look like it's piggybacking off other great channels that already do that. So what we're basically going to do is just basically look at a lot of different storylines, a lot of stuff that's happening, and kind of try and gaze into the crystal ball and try and figure out what's going to go on in the future of WWE. And the biggest one that I want to touch on to start off this episode is the decision by Vince McMahon to make both Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon co-general manager of Monday Night Raw. This leaves me with three questions. One, does this still mean that a brand split is a possibility? Two, what does this mean for the running of SmackDown? I mean, we have two general managers for Monday Night Raw. We have no general manager for SmackDown. Does that mean that they're going to be pulling double duty and also being the co-general managers of SmackDown? That was never made clear. And three, which pay-per-view is this obvious powder keg going to be exploding at? Now, I looked at this and I thought, where have we seen co-general managers of a show before? And the last one I can remember, we've had a general manager of SmackDown, general manager of Raw before going at each other, but the last one I could think of was Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eric Bischoff. And, of course, that got settled out at Survivor Series, where Bischoff's team ended up winning. I'm trying to think, where could a pay-per-view be that this could get settled out with maybe a 5-on-5 team? Because Survivor Series isn't going to take place here in 2016 until November. Are they going to really run this storyline all the way for, what would it be, about 6 months? Are they going to use a whole half year and run this storyline before finally reaching a climax at Survivor Series with Team Shane versus Team Stephanie? I don't really think so. The only thing is, though, you look at the other pay-per-views that are coming up, they don't really look like a great stage to set up a team versus team matchup. You got Extreme Rules coming up. You've got Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. Maybe SummerSlam could be a place. It's like, second fiddle to WrestleMania as the biggest show that WWE puts on. So maybe that could be a climax place, but is that where we're going to see a traditional 5-on-5 thing? I don't know. And if we do have it at SummerSlam, they can actually step outside of the boundaries and we can maybe have something more like maybe a 7-on-7 matchup like we ended up having back with the Nexus and Team Cena. That was at Survivor Series 2, wasn't it? I think it was. I can't remember. But, that's where I see this going. I'm seeing Team Shane versus Team Stephanie. The winner gets control of Monday Night Raw. The loser is going to have control of SmackDown. Now, there also are some rumors that one of them is going to get sick of the other one, say, okay, I'm done. I don't want to have command of Monday Night Raw. I don't want to keep having to make decisions with you. I'm going to go and be the general manager of SmackDown. We'll have our own thing. Hence, maybe the brand split. I was also a little bit surprised. I thought maybe last night, being in St. Louis, Missouri, we might end up getting an appearance by Randy Orton. I don't know where he is on the road of recovery, but I thought maybe being St. Louis, maybe, just maybe, the Viper would return, but that wasn't the case. I also thought we might end up seeing Finn Balor, because Finn Balor, that one time during the NXT taping, in his battle when he dropped the title belt, I think it was to Samoa Joe, he says, "I'll see ya on Monday night." Everybody was thinking, ooh, he's going to be showing up at Payback. And I thought, well, if he was showing up at Payback, why would he say he was showing up Monday night? I thought maybe we'd see him last night. Nope, not the case. So when is Finn Balor going to come around? Who knows? But they're definitely building that up great with the fact that now it seems like AJ Styles and his two buddies, Chris Anderson and Luke Gallows, they just got a tag team win over Roman Reigns and the Usos last night, which, by the way, the crowd loved. I had to laugh. They're like, "Oh my goodness, Roman Reigns' team lost." They're building it up great now. AJ Styles has found confidence with his buddies, and pretty soon I think it's going to get dashed with Finn Balor being the one that's going to take over. But I was left with a lot of different questions from Payback as well as from last night's Monday Night Raw. One other thing that I'm very curious about is why is AJ Styles, after losing his championship battle with Roman Reigns at Payback, why is he getting a rematch? I thought that was a thing that the champion losing his title gets. Why, when you have one shot at the title, do you get another shot at the title? Now, obviously, this is leading up to continue on with the Roman Reigns AJ Styles battle. It's going to bring Finn Balor, obviously, into the mix at some point. You got the Usos versus the Bullet Club, so, it still works out. But WWE's transition into things doesn't really, it's a little choppy. They're like, they hit you with it, and it's like, oh, okay. So, they really need to work on transitioning into something, with Shane McMahon losing the match to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and then boom, he's into Monday Night Raw's general manager spot the following night. The transition was terrible. Their transitioning from storyline to storyline is not good. They lay it in your lap. They expect you to have it, to accept it, and a lot of times it doesn't make sense. So I had a lot of different questions coming away from Payback. I don't even want to talk about the women's match, the Montreal Screwjob thing, because that just seems like a really stupid thing. However, it's leading up to a WWE Championship match between Charlotte and Natalya again at another pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, in a submission match. Ric Flair banned from ringside. When's the last time we saw a submission match? It was either 2010, 2011, 2012. Somewhere in that time, it was, I believe it was Brie Bella, either Brie or Nikki. I think it was Brie Bella versus Kelly Kelly, and it was Raw Roulette. This is going to be, I think, a really, really good matchup in the fact that Ric Flair's not going to be there. It's a submission match. It's the sharpshooter versus the figure eight. This is, to me, going to be one of the more looked forward to women's matchups between Charlotte and Natalya that I've had in a long time. We've ended up having Charlotte and Natalya in matchups on Monday Night Raw, on SmackDown. We had them at Payback. I didn't really enjoy any of those matchups. This one, I think, is going to be one that we're really going to enjoy. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're finally going to have a submission match. I kind of looked at the Natalya Charlotte thing before at Payback, and I thought, why don't they make that a submission match? Because it's clear. You've got the sharpshooter and you've got the figure eight, both submission matchups. The thing I think would make it even better, and they're not going to do this, but if I were booking this, I would throw Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks in there. Keep that a submission match. You've got Becky Lynch's armbar, and you've got Sasha Banks' bank statement. A fatal four-way submission match, that would be amazing, but they're not going to do it. That's just not going to happen. By the way, where the heck is Sasha Banks? We had an appearance by Becky Lynch last night against Emma at Monday Night Raw, but where the heck is Sasha Banks? Has she gone to the background or something? I mean, come on, WWE, really? Have they not heard the fans every single women's match saying, we want Sasha? I guess not. So, anyway, yeah, let's talk a little bit about some other stuff that's been going on as far as some takeaways from Payback. Of course, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I called it. Kevin Owens with the win. He wins the big matchups. So I called that one. Miz retains his championship from Cesaro, and now it's looking like we are getting back into the fatal four-way thing again with KO, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Miz, and Cesaro. So, we had this building up back when they put together the AJ Styles Roman Reigns battle for the championship. Now it's looking like it's going to be coming up again with a fatal four-way matchup, probably at Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental title. Another thing that I found very interesting as a takeaway from Payback is we ended up having Kalisto defeat Ryback. We kind of expected that was going to happen, so we have ourselves a over-the-top battle royal on Monday Night Raw to have a number one contender. Man, oh man, the best thing of 2016 was when the League of Nations died. Yes, because now Rusev is back in the hunt for maybe a second reign as the U.S. champion. And This is going to be, I think, an unbelievable matchup at Extreme Rules between Kalisto and Rusev. Much more so than it was between Ryback and Kalisto. Why? Because yes, Rusev's a big guy, but if you watch him in the ring, his flexibility, his different styles of wrestling are going to make it even better against the Lucha Libre style wrestling of Kalisto. Ryback is just a power, rough and tough fighting guy. That's it. That is all. Rusev brings a lot more to the table as a big guy, a lot more athleticism, a lot more different types of wrestling. I think this is going to be an incredible matchup. And to me, now maybe I'm just alone in this, but I would love to see Kalisto drop the belt to Rusev. I would love to see Rusev get a second run as the United States champion, because keep in mind, when he was the U.S. champ and battling with John Cena for the title, they had unbelievable matchups. I want to see Rusev get the title back. I think he really deserves it. I'm really glad that he's now out of the shadow of Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. I would love to actually see Alberto Del Rio now get a shot at some kind of a title. I don't think they would throw him into the Intercontinental title, but I think Del Rio's ready to get back into the title picture, to be honest with you. Sheamus, maybe, but, I kind of think that at the moment, the fan base is not really with him. I'd love to see Del Rio get into a title battle, but right now I don't think there's any space open for him. So I'm really glad that Rusev is the number one contender, to be honest with you, against Kalisto. I think you'd have a much better matchup with Rusev and Kalisto at Extreme Rules than you would with Zack Ryder, who was the runner-up to Rusev in that Battle Royal. So really, really, really looking forward to that. As far as Roman Reigns, AJ Styles battling at Extreme Rules, it's again going to be Roman Reigns. I don't think AJ Styles is going to win. I think maybe that's when you'll see Finn Balor make his appearance. If they throw him in earlier, I'll be very surprised. But anyway, that's my takeaways from the Monday Night Raw and Payback. Let me know what your guys' opinion is. And looking forward to SmackDown, seeing what happens there. Those are the storylines that I'm seeing that are going to be happening. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Short, but that's what we're going to be keeping it short and sweet. Hopefully I'll have some guests on in the next episodes. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning in this week for NSRA Talks Wrestling. Until then, I'm Seth Cole saying see you later.